BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, I'm Sam, I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags, and this week I am doing Black Phone. New movie came out earlier this year, and when I say earlier this year, I mean earlier this month. When I say that, I mean last month. Anyways, point is, just saying off the bat, phenomenal movie, great movie. I think it's the best horror movie of 2022. Now, given the year's not over yet, there's still a couple more movies to come out, right? You know, like Nope and Halloween, and maybe a couple others. But I mean, you know, just off the bat, just writing on the wall kind of thing. You know, I would say this movie, Black Phone, it's it. So, premise of the movie. It's 1978, and our main character is a nerd kind of character, or whatever, right? He's friends with this other kid that is a really good fighter, so it's like they have like this friendship that it's almost like it's like you help me with homework, I'll make sure no one bullies you kind of thing. And when the movie begins, we find out that there's this person that's grabbing children, boys, and our main character gets grabbed. So he ends up being like the sixth boy that ends up getting grabbed. Then everyone's trying to look for him. Right, and he's in this basement. No way out, no way to be, you know, whatever. Only thing down there is a bed, is a toilet, is some rugs, and a black phone. That's the premise of the movie. Now I'm gonna talk about the movie, or a little bit of my thoughts or whatever. I'm not gonna go and spoil anything. If anything, I might go and do a video on my main YouTube channel where I'll go and do spoilers of it. But all I gotta say is that the way this movie was structured, everything about this movie, just A, B, and C about this movie, I would say was on point. It was not that I was shocked, but I was like, really, when I found out that Blumhouse was the company that helped make this movie kind of thing. Alright, so the director, crap, what's his name? I'm probably gonna get it wrong. It's like Scott Derrickson or something like that. I'm probably off. It would be down below. But he did the first Doctor Strange movie. He did The Exorcism of Emily Rose, I think, and he also did Sinister, and those were pretty good movies. And so I didn't really know those movies, / I didn't know that the guy was directing this movie. All I knew was the Black Phone. Trailer looked really interesting, really good, so I want to go and watch it. Watched it 2 times. First time, it was me and Dad, and everyone was quiet in the theater. Second time, I watched it by myself, but there were more people in the theater. And so, what? I would say this movie is really good because I go and watch, and I'm like, okay, it takes place in the 70s. It feels like a 70s movie, right? If only it took place in, if it took place in 82, there would be, maybe more, references to, The Thing, Halloween, etc. There were still references to, older stuff, but it was, it didn't really hit me well. I was like, oh, they talked about that for a second, right? I was like, yeah, that's kind of like that time period. I think, though, here's my problem. No, it's not my problem. It's problem with young people. If they don't like this movie, because here's the thing. I watched this movie 2 times, and I really like this movie for a lot of reasons. But I don't think, when I first watched it, I was thinking, I don't think young people are going to like this movie that much. Around my age or whatever. And it's going to be because of, 2 things. One, there's some stuff in the movie they talk about that might be a little, for them. It might be a little too strong because this movie is trying to be very serious. And I think it did a really good job of that, being a serious movie. What else? Oh, yeah. It is kind of a slow burn. It kind of is. It's like an hour and 45 minutes kind of thing. And so it's like the first 30 minutes is like character building, and then the movie starts. And it's like, it is kind of long, but I would say it was worth it though by the time it was over. So I mean, if you're gonna go and watch this movie thinking that it's gonna be this like action-packed movie, or at least like a Halloween movie, you're wrong. Okay, it's a drama movie, a dramatic movie with horror elements in it. I mean, it's a horror movie, but it's more of a thriller, to be honest. But it is a horror movie because of the elements and like obviously the situation, right? Like, I would say that getting kidnapped would be a very terrifying experience. But that's what I would think if a young person didn't like it. Is either it was slow paced, or they didn't want to go and watch a serious movie. Oh, and that's another thing. I don't like going and watch serious movies back to back, or like 5 serious movies or whatever back to back. But since last week was Audition, in a sense that kind of was a serious movie. Kinda, and then I watched Black Phone 2 times, and now I'm thinking I might just go and watch the stuff like 10 times over, just so that I could like not like watch serious movies all the time. I'm just gonna go and watch some funny horror movie or whatever. Like, I might go and watch a scary movie. Anyways, point is, it was a really good movie. Now, let's talk about everything in the movie. If there was anything in this movie that I just did not like, I don't think there's anything that I just don't like about the movie. Okay, if there was anything I didn't like, there was a character that was crying towards the end of the movie. And it's just the way that they were crying was kind of like, it doesn't seem real. I mean, it could seem real, right? Maybe a person would cry like that, but like you watch the movie, you hear how the person cries, and it's like you're trying to cry, but in the same time you think it's funny that you're trying to cry, kind of thing. So like it looks like he's kind of smiling, it looks like this or that, and it's like, okay, whatever. But I mean, there's nothing like, I can't just go on like out. You would have to be nitpicking of this movie to go and just say this movie sucks because of A, B, and C. This movie is great because of A, B, and C. The music. Alright, so you watch this movie without the music, it's like, okay, this is the kind of movie. Music always sets a tone, and the tone it set for this movie was that this grabber, the main villain, was this evil person. No, he's a sick person, but he's evil. And there's some music that hits when like he's in the room or something like that, and it's like, oh my god, kind of music. It's like, I would say it was really good because of that. The music was like, right? Characters, actors, etc. I thought they were really good casting. I love the fact that they brought Ethan Hawke to play the grabber, the main villain. There was an actor that was in the movie that I thought was Jim Carrey when they first showed him, because the way they introduced him was that the guy just opened the door fast and made a face kind of thing. And it looked like, I swear to God, when I first saw it, I thought it was Jim Carrey. It wasn't, but it looks like him. I thought that was funny. But yeah, back to Ethan Hawke. He did such a really good job with this. Oh my God, he did such a really good job. But I'm gonna talk about a couple other things though now. There were some references, to older stuff, whether it was them talking about it or it was like a scene from another movie. Like, there was like 2 references that I can name you right now, and I'm not going to tell you the reference, I'm just going to tell you the movie. It, which came, I don't even know when the book was written. I forget, but, and then Phantasm. Phantasm, came out in 79. This movie takes place in 78, so maybe it wasn't that they were trying to make it a reference to Phantasm, and just ended up happening to happen like that. But like, if you watch Phantasm and then you watch this movie, if you don't see the reference, I'll have to just like, right, be like Will Smith when he's like showing like a big poster or whatever. And I didn't notice the first time, but then the second time I was thinking about it, I was like, hey, there's that, I think that references to Phantasm. But anyways, There was one scene I just loved, though, in the entire movie. There was one scene I loved. There's just one scene that I just loved. So this shows this character, you know, wearing a jean jacket playing an arcade game, right? He's supposed to be this kind of like, you know, this like, ooh, this cool kid kind of thing, right? He just wants to play his game, right? And he's about to go and beat his high score. And the pinball gets stuck. Some kid accidentally pushes another kid into the arcade machine, and it goes, you know, in the out of bounds kind of thing. So he ends up, you know, not being able to beat his high score, and he just goes crazy. And he's like, "Don't screw with my game!" Starts beating the crap to him. I just thought that was so funny. I thought it was just, well, not that it was like so funny, but it was just like one of those scenes that was like, I just love it. It was like a scene you might see in like Stranger Things or something like that. But anyways, I'm Sam. I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags. And if I had to rate this movie right now, I would rate it a 9.9. Because here's the thing. I don't know if there's any movie out there that can hit a 10 perfection, right? I have to give it a 9.9 because nothing can be perfect out there. And technically, I did give you a mistake, but I'm not going to go and bash the movie over the head because of that mistake. 9.9 out of 10. Watch the movie. I would say watch it in the theater. Try to watch it maybe by yourself because sometimes there's kids that are going and watching the movie. It might be a little loud. That happened the second time I watched it. I went and watched it, and there's these kids that were just talking and laughing. I was like, you gotta shut up now, kind of thing. Anyways, I'm Sam. I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags. And I hope you enjoyed this video that went a little longer than they usually do. But you know what? Sometimes that just happens to happen. Anyways, if there's nothing else left for me to say, which I don't think there is, outstanding movie. I've said everything I needed to say about this movie so far. That's why this video is over like 12 minutes. It's a really good movie, and if you haven't seen it yet, go and watch the movie. It's really good, and if you have to watch it in Redbox, then I know, so be it. But watch the movie, and if not 2 times, watch it 1 time. But anyways, I am Sam. I am Sam. I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags, and I'll see you next week.